Have you ever felt, stuck? Like you're just living the same day on repeat, with the same old habits getting you the same old results? If you're tired of being the same person, then you are in exactly the right place. So let's dive into this blueprint for reinventing yourself.
You know, just let that sink in for a second. This is the core idea of everything we're about to talk about. It's not about running away from your life. It's about totally transforming your role in it. This one sentence is the foundation. That's the big question, isn't it? Reinvention can feel like this huge, overwhelming project. But like any massive journey, it doesn't start with a giant leap. Nope, it starts with one single, simple step. And that very first step, it's making a conscious decision to break free. This is the moment, right now, where you can decide the old version of you ends and the new one starts to take shape. It has to be an active choice, not just some passive wish. You've got to actively decide that you are done with the old patterns. It's just, you can't build something new and incredible on a foundation of the same old habits and excuses that got you stuck. This decision, it's your line in the sand. Look at this. This perfectly lays out the trade you're about to make. On one side, you've got all the heavy stuff, the old habits, the limits. But on the other, you have the potential for new choices, new actions, a whole new identity. You're consciously trading what's familiar for what could be extraordinary. It's a powerful exchange. Okay, so you've made the decision. Awesome. But now what? Well, before you start walking down this new path, you need two things: a map, which is your vision, and the tools to actually build the path, and those are your daily habits. And this is not a trick question. You need to get absolutely crystal clear on this. Seriously, the clearer your vision of this new person is, the more magnetic it becomes. It's what will pull you forward on those days you really don't feel like moving. So let's break that down, okay? Don't just think in vague terms like, I want to be more confident. Get specific. How does this new version of you think when they face a challenge? How do they act when they have to make a tough choice? What does their average day actually look like? You have to define it. I absolutely love this idea. Think about it. Every single action you take is a vote. Choosing to read a book instead of endlessly scrolling, that's a vote. Deciding to go for a walk instead of staying on the couch, another vote. You are literally casting ballots for your future self, all day, every day. And the key here, the absolute secret, is that you don't have to change everything all at once. Just look at this process. Pick one small thing, just one. Then repeat it until it's second nature. That single change starts to compound, creating this ripple effect that over time builds an entirely new identity. All right, you've got your vision. You have a plan for your habits. Now comes the real work, execution. This is where you're going to face some trials, both the external ones in your environment and, of course, the internal ones in your own mind. This is such a fundamental truth. It is so incredibly hard to build new habits in an environment that was designed to support your old ones. Your surroundings are constantly sending you signals, either pushing you forward or pulling you right back to where you started. So what do? You have to intentionally build a fortress for your new identity. Clean your physical space, because that creates mental clarity. Turn off the notifications on your phone. Unfollow the social media accounts that drag you down. And actively surround yourself with content and people who reflect the person you're working to become. And that brings us to the internal battle. Let's be honest, motivation is flaky. It comes, it goes. If you wait until you feel like it, you're going to be waiting forever. Reinvention isn't built on feeling ready. It's built on doing it anyway. This right here is the engine. Discipline isn't about punishing yourself. It's a practice. It's the commitment to show up for yourself, especially on the days you don't want to. And here's the magic trick. The action is what creates the confidence and the motivation you are waiting for, not the other way around. So as you build that discipline and you start shaping your environment, something really incredible starts to happen. You begin the final transformation. You start letting go of the old self for good and fully stepping in to the new one. This leads us to such a vital step. You have to make peace with your past. Blaming your former self for mistakes or shortcomings, that just keeps you chained to that old identity. You can't build a future if you're constantly staring in the rearview mirror. It can be this simple. Just acknowledge that your past self did the best they could with what they knew at the time. They survived. They got you to this point. So thank him for the journey, and then respectfully let them go. You're driving now.
Don't wait for some magical sign or the perfect moment. The moment is right now. Start making choices from the perspective of the person you want to become. Just ask yourself, what would the future me do in this situation? And then go do that.
And this right here might be the ultimate takeaway. You don't think your way into a new identity, you act your way into it. Every action is like laying down another brick, building the foundation of your new self. Your behavior is the evidence you give your own brain that yes, you really are this new person.
Now, it's really important to remember this process doesn't just have a finish line you cross. Reinvention isn't some one-time event. It's a continuous daily practice. It's a journey, not a destination. This is the loop. It's a cycle. Every single day you make choices, those choices build up your habits, and those habits, repeated over and over, build the ultimate reward, genuine self-respect. It's something you earn by keeping the promises you make to yourself. And that brings us right here to the final and most important question. This isn't about tomorrow or next week or next year. It's about right now. Based on everything we've just covered, every action is a choice. So who will you choose to become today?